Hello everyone, welcome to the Warriors Den, the most glorious stream on the internet. My name is Emile, and as usual, this is Damien.
Hi.
Our online game director. Cool guys, so it's good to see you, it's good to be seen. Today we have a pretty interesting show for you guys. Most of the show will be centered around the public test that we're doing next week.
Yes.
So it's exciting. Also, Mr. Pope is not here this week, unfortunately. I think he's somewhere in a mansion in San Jose. He will be back next week for sure. So meanwhile, I guess we could do the stream in French today,
Yes,
Damien,
let's do it in French.
since Eric is not here.
C'est parfait.
Yeah. Parfait, hein? Continuons comme ça.
Allons-y.
No, we're just kidding. So today, yeah, we'll have a few guests from the dev team. We're gonna have one of our game designers, Carmack Poluvska, who worked a lot on the tournament feature.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We have Roman will join us a little bit later on the stream to talk about. To answer some questions with you, Damien. We received a lot of questions this week, and we want to take some time to answer most of them. Also, what do we have? We have another video from the vault. So Luke, our brand director, will come back to show you some of our stuff from the archives, from the huge amount of content that we created throughout the years. What else? What else do we have this week, Damien? We have a lot. First thing. I guess we introduced Penalty Quit
Yes.
a couple days ago.
Yeah, so basically we start receiving some feedback, and I'd like to get more. So send us some feedbacks on Penalty Quit. We want to know if you think it's working well, what could be the improvements that we should do. I know I received some message. Apparently, many people quits during the grace period. Some people still quit even with the penalty. Should we make a harsher penalty, increasing penalty, etc.? So we have a lot of ideas to do something a bit more tailored and adapted to our current game. So tell us basically, give us feedback on a penalty quit. Want to improve the feature, and do you think it's better now that we have it? Do you think it's worse? And things like that.
We want to know.
Yeah, we want to know.
Cool. Something else that we introduced yesterday is the new join in progress thing
Yes,
at the end flow.
So we introduced it start flow, end flow. Start flow, we still had some bugs, so we had to remove it. We re-enabled it in end flow by removing the team shuffling. It's not that we don't want to have team shuffling anymore. It's more a test to see if the reason why it was creating some issues like matches 5 players against 3 and things like that was because the correlation between the join in progress and the team shuffling. So it's something we're investigating right now, but it's not something we want to do for the long term. So it's we're doing some tests on the join in progress, because basically what happens is that each time we release the feature, new bugs arrive. It's those bugs, we can't reproduce them internally. We never have those. So we try to guess how we fix them. We think they are fixed, but because we can't reproduce them, we have to re-enable them live, see if it's working or not. And then, so it's taking a bit more time than what we'd like, but it's the only way we can nail down what works and doesn't work on the join in progress feature.
And those two improvements, let's be clear, it's there to help us improve a little bit of the stability of the game.
Stability, player comfort, flow. Basically, if you have more join in progress around the matches and not during the matches, is better, because then it doesn't impact the match. It means that you will also always play at full match with a full number of players. It means also that you have no join in progress mid-match or things like that. So basically, it's improving the overall comfort and flow of joining things. Also, easier rematches, so you don't have each time to go back in matchmaking and etc. So that's why we wanna have those two features. But we won't leave it active until it's good, basically.
Cool. Because I know it's still a very popular topic. We still have a lot of questions about it, about stability in general.
Yeah, so stability,
we hear you guys for sure.
It's something we're working on all patches. All patches, we're doing improvements on that. It's not an easy fix, but we're improving on it regularly.
It's a lot of little things.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of improvements, we also have an update coming up next week.
Yes.
The 1.09. Can you tease us a little bit, Damien, about
there
this?
There will be very
this
cool
update?
things in it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can say.
I guess
because we have a whole stream to speak about that.
Yeah, for sure. Next week will be centered around this update. As usual, it will come on PC first, and a couple days later, it should come on all platforms. But we'll talk about that in a future stream when we have a little bit more details. Then maybe today we have a few questions. Maybe some questions will are about things that we will find in this next update.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Cool. Besides that, also, we are aware that there was issues this week about lost rewards. I know a lot of you were affected by losing your rewards at the end of a match. Actually, right now, it should be done. We rolled out the whole compensation plan. So what we're giving out to all affected players is a melee pack. And I know Xbox One users were affected by some sort of 2 different bugs, so they will receive 2 melee packs for this situation. So again, we apologize, and it should be done as we speak.
Yes.
You guys should have received your melee packs. So it's 3 days champion status.
Yes.
And one crate. Exactly. Cool. We still have new content coming up this week. We have the battle outfits. We have 3 styles. We have the impressionist coming up. We have the geometric and also the trans-dimensional rift. So 3 different styles of outfits. We have a video again to show you what's up, and see you just after this cool video with something we found on the vault. So we're back with Mr. Luc Duchesne.
Hello.
Our brand director. How are you, Luc?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm good. I'm very good. So you were at E3 last week, right?
Oh man, yes.
It was true. It was not a
No, it wasn't a
Sky.
fake. It wasn't a fake. It's I strongly suggest you go check my Twitter account, Roman's Twitter, or Damien to see that we were truly in LA last week. I know there were some rumors. We thought on Reddit somebody said that on Thursday. Okay, our setup was really bad. Okay, let's be honest here. The setup we had in the room was truly awful. And some people, like there was some conspiracy theorists saying that no, we were not really in LA, and that because they heard Pope talk to Damien before, we were actually getting ready for the stream. Anyway, we were in LA. I forgot my badge, but go check our pictures. It's everywhere. On Twitter and Facebook, so you can see that we were truly in LA.
I've seen some cool cosplays
Yes, yes,
some cool
yes.
For Honor cosplays
Yeah.
from E3.
Yeah, yeah, Roman, he did
very
post-
high quality ones.
Yeah, he did post a video. It was the Orochi.
Yeah, I
yes.
saw
Orochi.
Orochi, I saw Warden too.
I didn't see the warden.
yeah,
I missed
pretty
that one.
impressive,
There
yeah.
were so many people out there. It was crazy to walk around, but it was a good show, a very good show for UB. So congrats,
Yes.
all our colleagues. They did an amazing show, and for us it was different this year too.
Yeah.
To be there, and there was one lunch I was just not thinking about anything versus the previous 2 years where I was just going ballistic on everybody. So it was good, but happy to be back.
Cool. You will find some of these cool cosplay pictures in this Week in For Honor article that should be out probably today or tomorrow. So we will put some of these cool cosplays there. But today, Luke, what do we have on the vault this week? Because I know
What do we have on the,
Yes,
on the
actually,
den? And
yeah.
why do we have that on the vault?
Actually, it's since I heard we were talking a lot about rank, about tournament stuff today.
That's true.
One thing we went back and something maybe that people don't know is that when we created there's a mic problem with me. Oh, my mic is fixed.
That's cool. That's
And
cool.
when throughout the development of the game, the team has done a lot of different tournaments. It's part of the DNA of the team. Every time we're working on a new build, before big milestones with the management of the company, we're organizing tournaments with all of our teammates and people from the studio.
And even back when we had a Stickman.
Yeah. It's like
early builds.
The first tournament happened, from what I remember, in December of 2012. So that's a long time ago. But today, so we did a bunch, and 3 years ago, so a year before we announced, we ran a tournament throughout the studio in Montreal. There were 132 players. It was a 4v4 tournament at the time. It was the only mode we had at the time. And it was very interesting because we brought all those people, the spots were filled very quickly, and we did the final in front of all of our colleagues of Ubisoft Montreal. Because we are, like right now, we are 3,000 in Montreal, and every year, everybody gather into the same room, and we have the speech from our management, what's coming up for the studio. And for us, it's actually tomorrow that we're going to all gather. And we did the final match during that meeting. So we had a 15 to 20 minutes. So it was a good tournament throughout the course of 3 weeks. We crowned some champions. We were actually all 4 members of the Rainbow Six Siege dev team.
Okay.
At the time, one of them now is on For Honor. Gabriel is sitting right across from us, next to you actually.
That's true.
And so you'll see, like through this video, from June of 2014, that For Honor, we've been doing tournaments, we've been doing a lot of those things in the past couple of years. So you can take a look and you'll see more competitive stuff coming very soon on For Honor.
Thank you very much, Luke.
My pleasure.
See you soon for another clip from the vault.
I'll be back.
All right. Mac.
I pit the Vikings against each other, and the samurai. All here know their place. All here understand their nature. Predator or prey.
Après 12 semaines de combats intenses, voici maintenant l'affrontement ultime.
The teams we're all ready to go. It is time to play the game. The Snoop Knight has come back with a vengeance. With that, Snoop Doggy Doge goes into sudden death. They can't respawn. They've only got 3 players left. Breaking Snoop goes down. Yeah, you got play.
Those were good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to forget that the code name of the game back in those days was Hero. Yeah, so
That's why you see a hero logo everywhere.
absolutely, that's true. So we have Carmack today, Carmack Paluska.
Hey.
One of our game designers. How are you, Carmack?
Fine, good.
It's good to have
Pretty
you here.
excited to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the ranking and all.
That's cool. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Fine.
What do you do? What
Yeah.
are your focus as a game designer?
So mostly working with Damien in the online team and in the tournament and ranking team as well. So we call it the competitive aspect of the game. So we're working on that right now, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Pretty excited about this stuff actually.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the players as well are happy to hear
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
So without any further waiting, you know that we're doing a public test next week. It's all about dual tournament, and today we really want to go and do a deep dive with you on this feature, give you
With
more
a
details.
PowerPoint.
With a PowerPoint, so
Wonderful
nothing else
PowerPoint.
than a PowerPoint. I know you love it. We love PowerPoints too. I hope we would have, fadings and stars and kaleidoscopes and things like that.
Yes, all of that.
Just to remind us of
Sparkles
1997.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But we really want to do a deep dive and show you what this feature is all about. What can you do in this tournament feature? How it works? How the different divisions work? So let's go, Carmack. When you're ready,
Awesome.
Max, if you can
Yeah,
show
Carmack
these
will
beautiful
start
people.
Yes.
by
the PowerPoint.
speaking about the ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll dive a bit more into the tournaments and the public test itself. So yeah, pretty excited to be able to talk about player ranking. Finally, one of the biggest feature that players were requesting since the launch. So pretty happy to be able to talk about it finally. So that's pretty cool.
That's true.
The point with the player ranking, obviously, is to allow more competitive players to delve into something that will allow them to show their skill, to be able to compete against other players, to be able to show off. And that's the point of it. That's what we want to achieve with this.
All right.
So
So how does it work?
how does it work? Once we launch the ranking system in the game, that you're going to be able to play during the public test as well. Everyone will start unranked. So of course, we want to check your match performance. So we're going to start you from an unranked, and you'll need to play 20 matches. Once you play the 20 matches, then you're going to be able to go into one of those tiers. So we have bronze, silver, gold, and then we have the shiny platinum and diamond. So those are more exclusive for the higher tier players. The idea with that is that any matches that you've played now in other playlists, so now the casual playlist, we won't account your skill in those. So we want you to restart from fresh start with the ranking and compete at your best level that you can. So that's the idea. That's why we're putting you from unranked instead of showing you, hey, you're already gold or something, because we could, but it's not fair. You've been learning the game, and now we want to start you from scratch. So once you do the 20 matches, you're going to be placed in those. And the distribution that we want to have, and that's something we want your feedback as well. That would be super awesome for this. We have something that is looking a bit like a bell curve. So the lowest tier, the bronze tier, will be the lowest 20% of the distribution of the players. Then 20% as well for the silver, 30% for gold, 20% platinum, and 10% diamond. The reason why diamond is a bit shorter is that we want to encourage competition at that point. We want to encourage the very, very top players in that curve. And also the fact that it's a bell curve, it also allows the players to be able to progress. So that's pretty cool. And as you might have seen as well, all of those tiers are divided into 5 divisions. So wherever you start, you're gonna as well have a tier and a division, and you're gonna be able to progress. If you go well with it, you're gonna advance to the next level after that.
Sounds good.
So for example, we start by showing you, for example, in that case, it's the dual rank. Of course, they're going to be divided by game. So for the public test, we start with the dual only. So that's why we're showing that to you. That represents your tier. So in that case, you're the gold tier. Then you have the divisions. Now player will be gold 4. Gold 5 is the highest. Gold 1 is the lowest. As you see, it's more like grades that you get. And the idea is that the completion level, so now you see 25%, it allows you to see your performance. And it's something that we really wanted to push forward, that we feel that some games doesn't give you really the information that you need to understand how you can progress further. So that's something very important for us to display to you. Well, right now, for example, you will be gold 4, 25%. If you progress well, you can go up to 100%. You're going to be able to go to gold 5. If you go down to 0, well, of course, you're going to go back to gold 3. So there's all that back and forth that you're going to be able to work on.
Someone asked, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
Carmack, someone asked on the chat if it's based on your solo performance.
Yeah. So
guess.
the idea is that we have something is a bit new as well for that. We want mostly to focus on your personal performance as well. So right now it's dual, so it's just 1v1, right? But the idea for sure for dual, if you compete against someone, if you win, you gain some rank. If you lose some rank. It's always based on your own rank and the rank of the other. So if you were lower rank against the others, you're gonna gain much more, you're gonna lose a lot more. If you were a lot closer in skill, well, it's gonna be a bit less. And the contrary, if you lose and you were a low rank, it won't affect you that much because, of course, you were playing against a better player than you based on your skill. Ooh. So, but then after, for example, if we're gonna test later Brawl, for example, your personal performance will be a bit impacting the skill. So even though you win, one of the two players will have a bit of a better score than the others based on his performance. So if you're, for example, carrying your team, we understand that. We want you to be rewarded for that. If you're getting carried, well, even if you win, congrats, that's good. But you might not gain as much as the other player, for example. So now you see in the PowerPoint a bit of the video of the banner, the ranking update banner. In that case, you're gold 3. Player has finished a match and he receives, for example, right now it's 6%. So we show your position in the scoreboard and your overall position between all the players. So now it's dual, so for sure you're first because you won.
Simple.
It's very simple. Yeah.
So cool.
Yes.
That's the ranking. That's
Dual
that.
tournaments.
And so the context of the introduction of the ranking for us, the first introduction will be through dual tournaments. And that's what we want to test next week on the public test. It's our new tournament activity with the duels. So we have a little disclaimer. It's a public test, so it's a bit like as we go back, like it's work in progress, like what we did during our alphas and
Beta
betas
testing.
and things like that. It's a test. The feature is not finished, but it's close to completion. It's good enough to be tested by the players, and it's good enough so that we can have a qualitative feedback from them. So what we want to do basically is that we want to test the dual tournament feature. So is the tournament working well? Are players liking the flow and things like that? So basically test the feature, and we want to also test the ranking system at the same time. How fast you rank up, you rank down, the number of matches to qualify for ranking, etc. So we want to test all of that.
In the same package, basically.
Exactly. Technology-wise, it's also an opportunity for us to test if everything is working well. So is the flow working well? I know we have question regarding disconnection and things like that, how tournament is behaving. We're also introducing a new type of matchmaking with tournaments.
Oh yeah?
Because we matchmake based on player rank and not on player skill anymore. Also, when we have team, we have different matchmaking systems for the tournament also. So it's something we want to test later on. And we're introducing with the tournament routers, basically. So we're adding routers to our architecture for the tournaments first, but it's something we want to test at a bigger scale to see how it works. Why do we introduce routers? We introduce routers
Tell me more.
Yeah.
for many reasons. One of the reasons that with routers we will be able to have NAT strict players, so red NAT player playing together. So they will be able to play together in tournaments.
That's
no
a big
more
improvement.
restriction at that point.
No more restriction at that
For the
point,
NAT,
so it will help a lot the matchmaking, and it will basically make easier that everybody can play together. And it's also an opportunity with routers to hide the IP of the players, so making them less sensitive to DDoS attacks and things like that, which is something that is crucial for rank play. So it's an improvement in our architecture, and the idea is that all matches that will be played with tournaments will be with routers. So players won't speak directly to each other like it is right now, but they will speak to a router that will speak to the players, basically. So it's a step forward improving our architecture. And it's something also we want to test with the public test thing.
Cool, that's a good improvement.
And the last thing we want to test is the public test. It's the first time we do a public test. Does it work? How does it work? Can people access it? Things like that. It's only on PC first, but it's a first step.
And it won't be the last one.
It won't be the last
That's true, because if it works pretty well, even if the game is released, why not doing more? Why not doing
and testing other things than
That's true.
tournaments? Testing other improvements, other stuff. So like the journey progress thing, we're testing live is something we could test for the test server first and things like that. So yes, of course.
Awesome.
So the content of that public test, as we said, it's dual tournament with ranking enabled. No gear stats. It's dual no gear stats, but we won't have gear stats anyway in ranking. Just want to make sure. Also, the playtime will go a bit deeper, but when you engage into a tournament, it's between 30 minutes to
90 minutes.
To 90 minutes maximum if all matches
if
are super long.
Pushing to the most time,
And we have a specific quit penalty on tournament. That is impacting it's ranking down your rank.
So you get a rank down if you quit tournament, and you get also an hour penalty in ranking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty harsh,
penalty.
but we consider it's good for the ranking. We don't want to pollute.
Just to make sure that you stay until the end.
Yeah,
play your whole tournament.
Yeah.
That you commit to play this tournament.
Exactly.
Great.
I won't go too much into details, but basically here the idea is that the size of the tournament adapts dynamically depending on the number of people that are requesting to play that tournament at that moment. So it's one of the things we will show in a few minutes, but one of the very cool things with our tournament feature is it's not something you need to register on. It's not like, oh, I want to play for the 8 p.m. tournament tonight. There will always be tournament. It's an activity, it's another playlist.
It's persistent.
It's persistent and it's always available.
Basically 24/7, and that's why we're presenting you the polls. It's if you're playing at 3 a.m. in the morning, might not be as much players, right? So you might be playing still. You're going to be able to play in tournament, but smaller tournaments. But if you play when there's a lot of people during the evening, then you're going to be able to play in
bigger
epic
tournaments.
Yeah.
Exactly. So depending on the number of players, we won't have the same number of pools, and so we won't have the same number of matches, basically. And everything adapts to itself. Yeah. So you can look into details, take a screenshot of that to to see everything, but I won't go into
I'm sure
too
you
much
will.
details.
Yeah.
So, how does it work? When you join a tournament, there is a specific matchmaking, as we said,
Yeah.
that will be, of course, longer because we need more players, and also you engage yourself for longer time play.
Yeah.
So longer
So
matchmaking.
Let's say with duel, since we range from 1 pool to 8 pool, it will be from 4 players, obviously, to 32 players.
Exactly.
So that's why it might take a bit more time to matchmake, but you're ensured to play a lot more matches also at the same time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so when the matchmaking is over, you get assigned a team. So in duel, you're a one-man team,
Yeah.
but you have a team name, a team emblem. That's why we did the contest for the team
Yeah, that's
emblems.
true.
It was, so we're not, those are the old emblems.
Yeah, they're
but
not
here
implemented
you
yet.
will see the new emblems made by the community.
Yeah, they will be replaced by your emblems.
And then you have a qualifier phase. So each team of the pool will play against each team of the same pool. So it's 3 matches total.
Yeah, basically. And every time you win, because it's a qualifier pool, then we go in playoffs afterward. But the idea is that you gain points. So every time you win, you gain 3 points. If you finish a match and it's the tie, you get 1 point. If you lose, 0 point. So like we said, there's all up to 8 pools, and that will affect who's gonna go. If you took a screenshot, if you go back in the video, you're gonna see it affects who's gonna go later on in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then you go on the playoffs. So everybody, if we have only one pool, only the 2 best if we have a lot of pools, up to the qualifiers.
So
That's where the serious business starts.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as soon as you're in the playoff phase, it's single elimination.
Yes.
So you lose the match, you're out.
Yeah.
Tournament is over for you.
And in that example, with just 1 pool, the idea is pretty similar to regular tournaments. If you played in other sports, for example, it's always the first team against the 4th team in position. So that's why the points are important, even though there's just 1 pool. And then it's 2nd team versus 3rd team. And then we go to the finals, and then we get the winner.
Quick question from the chat, guys, about, I've seen a few questions about cheaters in tournament. I guess we use the same system that we use for the regular game, I guess.
Well, the fact that we have the routers as well going to be interesting for that. So any attacks that are based on IP detection, completely disabled, because you cannot access the IP anymore of someone. So if you try to go in ranking, nobody can shut you down from the DDoS
or
attack,
if
for
they
example.
DDoS the router, then the whole tournament is off.
Yeah,
so it
but
will be harder to do
it's-
it. And routers, one of the cool things of routers that they're protected from DDoS.
Yeah. With the infrastructure that we have, it's something that we care of course, with the routers. And yes, there's security involved with this. They're resilient. They're going to be able to take a hit. But that's the cool part, is that you won't be able to attack other players. And then there was a few questions about that, but also for the quit penalty, it's only quit penalties when you abandon yourself the tournament. So if you get, for example, disconnection, I think it's something important to say. In the tournament system, we have something new that's going to allow you to reconnect to the tournament.
Yeah, you can rejoin the tournament in progress. You won't rejoin the match, but you will still rejoin the tournament in progress, so you won't get the penalty.
Yeah, exactly. So you will never get the penalty for just having a disconnection. You'll get the penalty from abandoning because you think you cannot go further in the playoffs or just rage quitting or that kind of things. Then you're going to get the penalty. Otherwise, it's all good.
Okay,
all right.
Let's move on. So this is a case of 1 pool. When you have 2 pools, then it gets with more people basically playing.
And as you can see, only the first pool and second pool, they only play between each other's. And then in the playoffs, you see that the seeding will make them get closer and closer.
Exactly. So let's look at how it looks like into the game. The 30 seconds grace period doesn't exist in the tournament. The tournament, when you quit the tournament, you abandon a tournament. There is no grace period on a match in tournament. So in fact, you have many minutes of grace period. It's during the matchmaking of the tournament. But as soon as you get your team assigned,
You're
That's it.
committed.
Yes.
You're committed until you lose or until you win for the tournament.
Because there's going to be a much more players that are going to be impacted by that.
So it's
that's the reason why.
Dusk Mare 40 that asked us the question. Good question. I see also a lot of people asking in the chat, is it only duel? Is it only duel? Yes. For the public test, first we only test with duel. We have further tests later on. We have other mods later on. But the first step is with duels.
Yeah.
So we did a recording of the feature as it is in the public test right now.
Shortened version, basically.
Cut version. So the beginning is just to show you that it's an activity like any other. So you have a playlist, an activity card for that. You can see that you have penalties applied if you abandon.
Yeah.
You can see that the gear stats are at off, etc. And you can see your current ranking.
And surprise, surprise, extra loot, which we're going to
And
talk
extra
about
loot,
later.
Yeah, we have exclusive rewards and more rewards only if you play a tournament.
So it will look like this.
It will look like this. So then let's say you register, you ask to play into the tournament. And so here the matchmaking, we can see that it's looking for the skills, it's looking for the
For the players, for example.
Players, it's adapting the size of the pools, etc. One of the very cool things also of that matchmaking is that during that matchmaking, you can access your hero's menu.
Yeah.
You can customize your hero.
Can go back to main
access your
menu.
order.
Yeah.
You can access the other overlay of the game during that part of the matchmaking.
And that's something that stays true for the entirety of the tournaments.
Yes.
And just before we move on, something important I think to talk about with the matchmaking is, unlike now the casual playlist, let's say the unranked playlist, we won't relax the player skill to all players. Because you play in ranked, we want players to play with closer players to their skill.
Yeah.
So as we've displayed you the divisions, we want player to get closer to other players that have closer division to you. So ideally, yes, it's going to be players with the same division, and then we extend up to 5 for now. We'll see the feedback from the public test. If it's too high or too low, we'll adapt after that.
We'll adjust.
Yes.
Yes. So then you join the tournament, you get a team assigned. I don't know if people have the sound of the video.
They're supposed to.
So you can see that there is some super neat voiceover. So you get assigned a pool. So you have a team, you have a pool, and within that pool you will match against each team of that pool. And right now you can see that you will be the defender on the first match against White Cliff Breaker as the attacker.
And since there's just one pool, all the teams will go to playoff like it is displayed right now.
You have also the reward you will get based on how far you went into the tournament. So it's something that will improve over time. And you can always check your ranking in the meantime between matches.
And you will not disconnect
how
from
it changes.
matchmaking.
No, exactly. You can go see your orders, go in the main
Exactly.
menu, see your heroes and all of that.
First match.
So now what we have is the...
against White Cliff Breakers.
So first match,
Yes, first match, Sun Wraiths versus White Cliff Breakers.
and then we join really the normal flow of the game. So you fight the other team, you go into the lobby, select your hero, you wait for the other guy to select the hero. As you can see in that part of the screen now, you will see the ranking of the player you face also, which is pretty cool.
Now we skip the match.
We skip the match, yay, victory.
Then you're going to be able to see the ranking afterwards. That's the important
Your
thing.
team wins.
As you see, there's
I
the
was
clash
betting
screen at
on
the
you
beginning
the
and at the
whole
end.
time.
And you're going to see that our voiceover actor has a pretty sassy line sometimes. It's pretty cool, actually.
People asking if they are, of course, these emblems are not the ones created from the contest yet. Yes. We'll introduce them in the game very soon.
So
Sorry,
here,
Damien.
as you can see, after the scoreboard, we display you your ranking.
Yeah.
We tell you where you start from, where you go, and based on what. So now you finish first.
And again, that's your personal performance.
personal
so, yeah.
performance because you were first in scoreboard, and also you had the match victory. So now you see that you rank up.
if you didn't play your 21st match, it will just show you your progression until then.
And then you have the normal rewards of a match. So you still get your normal rewards at each end of the match like in any other activity. So this stays. But as you can see, the reward is improving itself for the tournament.
Oh, nice.
And then we chain matches, basically.
So now we're still in the qualifiers. There's 3 matches to it.
3 matches to go.
Sun Wraiths
So second match.
versus
Darkest Hearts.
Congratulations. Don't tell the
Then we
others,
just
but
skip to the end
you are
again.
my favorite.
And again, it's always the same cycle. So you get ranking update after the scoreboard, you get your match rewards again, then you go back to the lobby. So in between when you're waiting, you can just see and browse your heroes, for example, and go to the menus. The last match of the qualifiers. Yeah, the announcer is pretty cool.
Congratulations. Best fighting I've seen in a long time.
So we should stop speaking above the announcer. So now the player finished all his qualifier matches, and now he will join the playoffs.
So
Your team has made
if we were
it
in
to
a
the playoffs.
tournament with more pools, maybe he will have got eliminated. So he will have skipped the playoffs and got until the end of the tournament. But
So now you
yeah.
can see there is a 3 and single elimination. We skipped to the final because basically you're chaining match at each part of the tree. So you can see we won the first match. Those guys were eliminated from the tournament. Then we are facing him. This team as the final match. You can see that your reward got much better because you went further down in the tournament.
Yeah.
You can see that you can also deploy stuff, of course.
Your team
Now
has
final.
made it to the final.
Because you get war assets
Sun
by
Wraiths.
taking part in
After every match, you get your regular
Hearts.
war sets you will get after a match. So you can assign them in between your matches. Yeah. Now epic. Super epic execution.
So let's say you win the final.
Yes.
So what happens when you win the final?
Your team
So
is
again,
victorious.
the same flow when you
You've
finish your
brought
match.
pride to
But then
your
after
people.
that, something pretty epic happens. So we're talking about all the rewards, right? And that's where you're gonna get the celebration just after your match. So the tournament is
last
pretty
match.
much finished.
Your
Yeah,
last match
exactly.
of the tournament will
Considerable
give you the
rewards.
rewards.
Yeah.
You earned the legendary reward tier.
So here, as an example, an exclusive ornament.
If you have seen it, we didn't pause the video
Right.
for that. But basically, if you get up to the finals, you get super exclusive rewards. And as you might have guessed, the more you advance in the tournaments, the more epic the rewards you're gonna get. And we've heard you with the memes and all. Legendary is a reward tier.
And
It will
versatile
stay
is a reward.
versatile as well. They will stay like that.
We like some versatility.
Yes.
And so this is the end lobby. So you finish the tournament. You can look back at the qualifier summary, which match you won, match you lost. You can do the same thing on the playoff summary.
Yeah.
If you get eliminated before, and if you stay in that lobby, it gets updated with what people do, which is pretty cool too.
We didn't look at the summary playoffs and qualifiers, but basically it's where you can see the stats. So the points that you got in the qualifiers and during the playoffs. So in between your matches, if you have finished, you can still look at it and wait and get to see who has won, who has progressed towards the end of the tournament, for example, if you got eliminated before. If now everything is finished, but you can still browse the stats, look where everyone has advanced in the tournaments.
Yeah. And yeah, so this is what we will go with the public test. So that people can send us feedback, tell us what they like, what they don't like, etc., so that we can adapt the feature before we release it to everyone.
That's right. When we release the public test next week, we will have a dedicated section on the forums that is just about the public test. So that's the best place to go. It's not available now, but next week, starting on Tuesday, we'll have this forum available. We have an FAQ where you can find answers to probably all of your questions or most of them. And yeah, so please do it. Please go on the dedicated forums. Ask your questions, send your feedbacks. That's the purpose of this test.
Yes,
that's the main reason why we do it.
Yeah.
I know you guys have been working hard with the team to put this feature together and make sure that our community can test it before we implement it live. So please do it. We're here and we're waiting for your feedback.
Have fun with the tournaments. Give us feedback.
Yes, and one of the also other thing that I've seen a question that. Are you limited in the number of tournaments you play per day? The answer is no.
No.
You can play as many tournaments as you want.
Yeah.
And when you join the public test, please do play days of tournaments. The more people play, the longer they play, the better it will be for us. So
and the better their rank will be if they perform well.
Exactly. So how and when will you be able to test that? Next week on PC only for that first public test. Everybody can access the tournament, every PC owner of the game, all region, all countries. It will be, as we said, dual tournaments activity. So this is what people will be able to play on that public test as an activity. We will copy your current progression that you have in the game right now to the public test server so that you carry with everything you've done in the game, with your customization, with also your skill, everything, all of your heroes, everything. But it will be a separate branch. So for everything you do in the public test will be lost when the public test is over.
Yeah.
So this is only for test purpose that we basically transfer everything you have. You will be able to pre-download the public test game version June 27, so that you can be ready the 29th to play it until the 4. There is no NDA. It's still public. It's still work in progress, etc. So you can share it. You can do videos on it, etc. But keep in mind that we do it to get feedback. We do it to improve the feature. So send us feedback so that we can update it, basically.
All right. So we just displayed some good information for this public test. You will have more information next week on Tuesday for sure. You will find everything you need to onboard. Don't forget that everybody is invited. Anybody can join this public test. You at home, but not Pascal there.
Not Pascal.
No, Pascal.
We banned him.
Small shout out to Pascal.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's often FU Pascal, we have to say he did the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
So shout out to Pascal. Thank you. Sometime he can be helpful.
So if you like this PowerPoint, please enter "Love you, Pascal." Love you, Pascal, in the chat. It's probably the only time where you will do this. So. Piss off, Pascal. It's not exactly what we, but yeah, thank you, Pascal, for once for this PowerPoint presentation. But like I was saying, everybody is invited. You will see in Uplay or in Steam, you go into your game library. Don't do it now because it's not available now. But next week, starting on Tuesday, you can go on your Uplay games, on your games library. You will find For Honor, of course, your main game, but you will also find the public test version right next to it.
Yes.
So it should be super easy. You don't have to
like
enter
a new
code.
game, basically.
Yeah, you don't have to look for a password or something. It's all inside Uplay and Steam. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your great work. We can't wait to play this pretty test. It will be fun.
Us
Really
have
excited.
feedback.
Yes.
and we will play too. We'll get destroyed by you guys, but we want to experience it with you guys too.
Yeah. We're gonna be in bronze.
Me too, probably.
We'll stay there.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Carmack. Daniel,
problem.
you're staying with us.
Yes.
And Mr. Roman is coming up next. We have a Q&A session for you guys, so stay tuned.
It was really tight to dodge the punch.
Pays Jesus. Am I the
the only man on the battlefield? Never yield to death. I rattle steel, dismantle shield. Hear the crackle of the battle axe. Tackle packs in the gravel backs to the wall. Act or you'll surely fall.
It was really tight to dodge the punch.
Peace, Jesus. Am I the only man on the battlefield? Never yield to death. I rattle steel, dismantle shield. Hear the crackle of the battle axe. Tackle packs in the gravel backs to the wall. Act or you'll surely fall.
It was really tight to dodge the punch.
Peace, Jesus. Am I the only man on the battlefield? Never yield to death. I rattle steel, dismantle shield. Hear the crackle of the battle axe. Tackle packs in the gravel backs to the wall. Act or you'll surely fall.
It was really tight to dodge the punch.
Peace, Jesus.
Enchaîner?
Oh, we're back. How are you, Roman?
Good.
Yeah, you had a good week at E3?
Yeah, nice. It's
Yeah.
a bit hungover, but it's okay.
Did you did you cosplay yourself? Did you
Yeah, I cosplay
dress
Roman.
as a Nobushi? You cosplay Roman?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure everybody recognized you. We got some questions for you guys today. We have a lot, so I hope you're ready. Let's do it. Let's not wait too much. First one. I know those are generic questions because I know we received a lot of them, and a lot of them were kind of the same. So the first one is about our dear Centurion. Is there any plan to fix the Centurion in 4v4?
What do you mean by fix? No, there's a patch.
Ask the world.
There's a patch that should come next week to address some element of the Centurion. The problem with the Centurion is, yes, when you get 2 or 3 Centurion ganking, there's a little bit too much CC involved. So what we are testing and we should deploy next week is trying to mitigate his CC ability when teaming with another Centurion, but not touching at all his dual ability, because in dual he's at a pretty good spot, he's not OP at all. As soon as there's 2 or 3 Centurion at the same time, that's where the character gets not that great for us in terms of behavior, and that's what we want to fix. So that should come next week. Plus some minor detail like some correction in how his punch actually tracks the target to make it slightly easier to dodge. Some detail like that.
Because we teased you earlier about an update coming next week, possibly. So we'll deep dive into this update probably next week during the Warriors. Then there should be some more balancing change.
So there's 2 updates basically. There's a live patch, hopefully next week with the Centurion things, and then we'll have a titled update, a proper patch that will come afterwards. That we should also speak about next week.
All right. Thanks
so
for
precision. It's going to be really mainly around how the CCs of the Centurion stacked, so it should not impact him in duel.
All right. Next question here, I think it's for you, Roman, again. Will revenge for 1v1 duels ever be turned off?
So yes, we're currently turning it down. Same thing, it should be turned on next week in duel to prepare the tournament.
All right.
Pretty straightforward.
Short and sweet. Yeah.
Not sure it will be active on tournament though. It's something we need to check.
Yeah, we'll turn it off on tournaments and for any duel basically.
That's the objective.
All right. Someone is asking, is the Centurion unlock tech intentional?
So it depends what part of the unlock tech. The fact that you can go deeper into your chains by doing unlock move, yes, like all the other characters. The fact that there is a super quick throw out of the unlock thing, no, it's not intended, and it's something that we are patching.
All right, that's some good news. Another question about the Centurion here. Are Centurion side heavies intended to be as fast as light attacks?
Yes, it depends what. So Centurion's heavy are slower than his light attacks from basics. So basic light attack are 500 milliseconds, basic heavy attack are 600. But then in the heavy chains, yes, the second heavy are actually faster. They are at 500 milliseconds. But that's something that we do in a lot of chains of the character in order to get more different property and more interesting move into the chain. So the fact that heavy side, the second heavy is 500, yes, it's intended. It's one of the strengths of the Centurion, of that chain actually.
So don't panic about it. Interesting question about the Shinobi here. is it intended that the faster shinobi gets punished if both shinobi kicks are about the same time?
So
The faster shinobi.
that question is a little bit weird because who is the faster shinobi if they both kick at the same time? So seriously, yes, if you see a shinobi kicking and you're trying to punish him with the kick, yes, you can actually successfully punish a shinobi kick with another shinobi kick. Why? It's because of the uninterruptible aspect of the kick at some point in the move. So the second guy that's gonna kick can catch the first guy with the first guy with an interruptibility effect. That's normal. That's intended, and I think that's interesting. And actually, you have the same kind of stuff, I think, with the tackle move of the shinobi.
All right. Thank you, Roman. We have a few questions here. We have a few for Damien, for both of you guys. Here from Forum. Oh, Eric just fell on Apollyon. From user Champion Ruby 50G is asking, where is the love for neutral colors?
Yeah, so
Where's
it's
the
if I understand well, I think the question is about the attacker and defender colors.
I don't have more details
less
than that.
love than the neutral ones.
Yeah.
It's something we will speak about normally next week because it's we have some stuff about that on the next patch.
Because people want to use their
But
customized
basically, they
color
have way
schemes.
more neutral colors than attacker defender colors, and some neutral colors have really good colors that could fit into attacker or defender, but they are
true.
not put there, which is a bit weird. So yeah.
So more to come.
Yeah.
Another question from the same user. Can we have a system that allows us to keep our XP earned during disconnected matches? Very good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's something we're investigating. How can we? What can we do so that when you get a disconnection, you still get some rewards? So I don't have more to say. I'm just saying that it's something the team is looking at. And as soon as we have something or we can do something, we'll say it. But we're investigating that.
All right.
It's a good point.
That's true. Another question from forum user Nefer Taris is asking, what about salvage? I have now, only for the nights, nearly 90,000, and it's increasing rapidly.
Yeah, so
I know we had a couple questions in the past about salvage.
Yeah. Basically, what happens with salvage is that as soon as you maxed up your gear on one hero and you don't want to start new heroes, then you're accumulating salvage at every match almost, and you don't have anything to use it for. So it's something also we're looking at. I don't have a solution right now, but we would like to see some ways to make salvage more useful. And we'll have some updates about that also on the next patch.
All right, cool, good to know. Another one for you, Damien, from user Alicorn Tom. He's asking, could there be a possibility to get more mundane Conqueror ornaments? It's been a while since we talked about the Conqueror.
I'll take a note.
Yeah.
And check if we have more mundane ornaments. I know there will be some other ornaments that will come for heroes. We have pretty much a lot, but we're still making other ones. As you can see, there will be ones exclusive to tournaments also. So yes, I will see if there are some mundane ornaments in there.
Here, a question from Metal for the Core. Metal for the Core is asking two questions actually. First one, will there be more rewards cosmetics for a higher rep player in the future?
It's also something we're looking into for rep rewards. What can we bring more? We had some requests on the past stream about that. So no answer yet, but it's something we're looking into.
All right. Second question from Metal for the Core. Will you change the lever penalty when the rank mode comes out? Because,
So we spoke about that already. When you play in rank mode, you have another penalty. Your rank goes down, and it's a 1 hour penalty.
All right.
So pretty big penalty.
Cool, and that's it for the questions for this week, guys. If you have any more of these, make sure to go on Reddit to the forums to to ask us. And it's always a pleasure to reply to some of these questions. And of course, anything about the public test coming up next week, we're pretty open. So send your feedback, send your questions. And before we end the show, because I know there was already a raffle happening on the chat, because we have combat packs for you as usual. We have some cool community creations again. We have some cool videos, and yeah, let's move on. I guess the first one, kind of confused in all my papers, is called Max. When you're ready, it's called Madness. This is a shipyard, and it's submitted by a Reddit user Ponko Dunk, and it's a GIF. Oh, that's a really good one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, let's look at it again. Pretty good turn up. Thank you, Ponko Dunk. Next one was submitted by Reddit user High Definition on YouTube actually, and it's called "Why is For Honor Good?"
Why is For Honor a good game? Wait! Now hear me out. Before you click away, know that I'm completely aware of the current terrible state of the game. But let me rephrase the question. What is it that's actually good about the game? It's your boy HD here, and today I plan to break away from the known negative parts and instead break down the more positive aspects of For Honor. Hopefully you'll have a better mindset of this great concept of a video game. So if this video does that, a like will be super appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Now I'm going to get this out the way right now. For Honor is a unique game, and you know it. The combat may supposedly be getting even less balanced as the gaming community claims, but it undoubtedly features gameplay that is like no other in any other game. We even see some of this unique combat flavor evolving into Ubisoft's other franchises, like the new Assassin's Creed Origins. If you've been living under a rock, For Honor features a semi-realistic close quarters combat mechanic. Players must block, dodge, and parry blows from their enemies, all while trying to aim their own deadly strikes. Now the idea is wonderful on paper, and it looked amazing when it was first revealed to us. Just plenty of updates and 2 new characters later, and there were enough complaints to kill over half of the game's user base in just a small number of months. The question is, will the game continue to hold up? I believe so, and it's all thanks to the community. While it does seem like the community is shying away from the game, there are still players that do enjoy it, myself included. Do we play it on a normal basis? Likely not, but it's clear that this game can still be fun. For Honor has plenty of potential and apparently still has a long way to go for its growth. I figured there will be more content on the way that may be worth experiencing, so I decided to hold on to my copy. Sure, the developers may appear to not care about the player base, but there's no denying that they will continue to update the game with content. That's unless Ubisoft says so otherwise. And I highly doubt that, based on how much they're making it rain from the dozens of daily in-game transactions. I believe we have barely scratched the surface with this game, and there's still a good bit of players willing to hang on for that ride. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 15 situation, just with less pitchforks and torches. Nobody ever said changes would be pretty, but hey, there may be welcome changes over the horizon. To make your game experience even better, I definitely suggest fighting nothing but bots for your multiplayer experience. Just select your favorite mode, turn matchmaking off, and enjoy a private, uninterrupted room of For Honor action. I believe it's a fun alternative to fighting other players if you're the antisocial type, or that's just not your type of party. You can even still tackle a fair number of multiplayer mode objectives while you're at it. I also know that there's a custom game feature, but I doubt that it has the number of changes seen in custom Overwatch games. There does seem to be more depth here though if you wish to make a private room with many possibilities with your buddies. And if I'm not playing this game, there's always something to laugh about in the For Honor subreddits. If you're having a terrible time with the game, I guarantee that there's someone else on the internet sharing the same experience or similar. Now, if you still own the game and have way too many problems to keep you from playing, simply take a break. I do it, you do it. There are so many other games out there, but whenever you have the urge to do this, and this, and this, you know what game to play.
Oof. That was a bit strange.
Just quickly, because I saw that in the chat, it's why did we choose those questions this week? It's because those were points, either new points or things that we thought were interesting to reinforce this week. Why aren't we answering Total Revenge stuff? Because we already answered that like 10 times in the previous stream. Can we state that? Yes, we are doing new stuff on the Totaling meta. It's coming soon. When soon? Can tell you right now because we're testing it and we want to go also through the test server with those things later in the future, etc. So I don't see any point in telling that again, like, yeah, we are looking at that and we're doing that and it's going to come someday. So if you want answers on that, you can go and watch the past streams, same thing for Revenge, etc. I see no point in restating the things that we have already said when there is nothing new to add on top of that. So same thing with Flickr. Yes, we know it's a problem. Yeah, we are trying to fix it at the moment.
Same thing for leak content that is not
yeah,
ready.
Same thing for
the
for the execution, etc. It's not that we are avoiding your questions. No, we already answered those elements, and I'm happy to answer them again or tell you new things when we actually have new things on these ones.
Thank you for this for this precision, Roman. We'll move on to another video, a shorter one, called "How to Beat a Shinobi," submitted by Lozy the Lemming on YouTube. That was a good one. Let's move on to the next one, and it's a GIF. It's called "Sometimes You Get Salty, Other Times You Get Even," and it's submitted by a Reddit user, Tim from the internet. That's a GIF.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No
Let's
kill
watch
steal.
it again, maybe? No? No problem, no problem. Okay. Yeah, let's see.
Max wanna replay it.
Let's go.
That's good team play.
Speaking of the Conqueror. Last one is called "When You Lost the Fight But Not the Dance Battle," and it's submitted by Twitter user Video Games Up.
Can we have a smaller one?
Yeah. Sorry for the poor quality. And now the breakdance starts. Let's watch it again. Ooh. Doing the windmill. Cool, so I guess that's the end, guys. That's the end of the Warriors Den for this week. But don't forget that next week it's the public test. You can expect more details coming up on Tuesday, on June 27th. Also, we'll be back again with the Warriors Den with more details about upcoming updates.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in next week. Don't miss it. We have a couple shout-outs. We want to give some shout-outs to the For Honor Discord channel. Make sure you join in. Pretty easy to find. Discord.gg/For Honor. We usually step in, trying to have a conversation with some of you guys. It's always good to get your feedback. Again, big shout-out to all of our Reddit mods from the subreddit, but also the competitive one and all the other ones. If you are are a creator or an artist, make sure to send us your creations. It's always fun to showcase them. When it's videos, we usually use them in the Warriors Den. When it's pictures, drawings, things like that, we usually post them in This Week in For Honor article. This one from this week should be out today or tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. And also, if you organize a tournament, wherever it is, tell us, feed us, tell us on Twitter, on Reddit, on social media, and we'll do the promotion here on the Warriors Den. And of course, a big shout out to Ubisoft Brazil.
Yes.
I know there's some tournaments happening
We met
there.
them at E3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
and
great.
they're so passionate about the game, and they're restreaming the stream.
Yes,
and dubbing it. It's amazing.
that's
Great
incredible.
job, guys.
If you want to improve your your Portuguese, you can watch the Warriors Den translated by our Brazilian team. It's really cool. So thank you guys. Thanks Roman.
No problem.
Thanks
Thank
Damien.
you, guys.
And thanks for your support. See you next week. And
And
yeah,
go on the public test.
make
Yes,
sure to
please.
jump on a public test.